All this technical stuff's doing me head in. Hold on. I've got this new camera. I'm not quite sure how to work it all. I'm not clever, I'm just a Benderskum. Anyway, hold up. No, if I go that way, that's weird. Well, I don't understand this sort of stuff. I don't really understand very much, but that's okay. I don't really have to. I'm just, as I said, I'm just a Benderskum. So who cares if I understand stuff? I got asked about the endocannabinoid system recently, and yeah, okay, I kind of get it. And I'll try and explain it to people like this. Why CBD on its own isn't as good as full extract cannabis, or just cannabis on its own, you know, not just CBD. Right. CBD has got a job to do, and in your endocannabinoid system there's more than two, but there's two that are really well known: CB1 and CB2 receptors. CB1 receptors are activated by THC and probably other cannabinoids. So therefore, THC activates your endocannabinoid system. CBD does something different. If you can imagine, the CB2 receptors, they're in your organs and your blood and your eyes and, you know, places where disease and damage happens and needs repairing. So, but CB2 receptors are in those places, and they produce cannabinoids. Those cannabinoids are neurological messages or chemicals, if you like, and they're sent from these transmitters called CB2 transmitters. They're sent out into your body, but CBD blocks those messages, doesn't allow them to get out. Now those messages are still being made. They're inside your organs and places like that, like I said. So the only place that those cannabinoids can go is back into the organ or the blood or the bone or wherever it is they're made, and do some repair work there, which is what cannabinoids do. Okay, what endocannabinoids do. God, they're long words, aren't they? Anyway, and that's okay. If you take just CBD, that does that. That blocks those transmitters, and you know, it does do some repair. It doesn't allow those endocannabinoids to go out into the rest of your body. It makes them stay where they are. Hang on, I just had a crash. It's nothing fatal. Oops. Oh, that's quite unnerving. Oh, hold on. This camera's going to spin over. Phewie. See, I told you I wasn't used to this sort of stuff. Anyway, that was life goes on. So where was I? Let me think. Right. So the CBD, it blocks the CB2 transmitters. Now, if you take CBD, or if you take full extract, that's just done my head in. If you take full extract and activate your endocannabinoid system, like with THC, which activates your endocannabinoid system, and that's still got CBD in it, full extract. So the CBD still does what it's supposed to do, which is block those CB2 receptors, transmitters. Now, because your endocannabinoid system is active rather than passive, which it would be without the THC and other cannabinoids, because it's active now, those CB2 transmitters are making much more of the stuff that they make, the endocannabinoids. So there's loads more of that going back into your organ, so it repairs much quicker. So full extract, I recommend it. The whole entourage effect, you know, it's not fully understood. And hey, me, I'm just a Benderskum. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a lay person, lazy person, maybe even. Who knows? Anyway, right. Apart from that, what else? And my little calamity with my camera, which I'm still trying out. I've got a poem, so I'll read my poem, and then I'll fuck off and shut up. Okay, right. So here we go. The poem's called "There Are Gaps in Our Democracy." Here we go. There are gaps in our democracy that just don't seem to fit. One law is for them, and for us some other shit. Does this make the law seem fair? Not one fucking bit. I know that I'm a cynic, but there are gaps in our democracy. I recently read on social media of a cannabis amnesty, but Brighton's finest police force thought quite differently. They smashed down the doors of a house, a cafe and a shop, because this fucking prohibition doesn't seem to stop. There are gaps in our democracy, and they start right at the top. I've been a cannabis activist for a year or two or three, and I'm proper sick and tired of our leaders' hypocrisy. But there are gaps in our democracy, and it don't seem right to me. 70% of the world's legal cannabis is grown in Norfolk and Kent. When you realise that this is true, you'll know that something's bent. There are gaps in our democracy. It's about time that they went. There are people in our government who will profit from that weed, but as an individual it's illegal to grow my seed, because there are gaps in our democracy, protected by corporate greed. I once stood for Parliament. That sounds crazy, but it's true. And as a lifelong anarchist, that's a really odd thing to do. But there are gaps in our democracy, and the victims are me and you. The United fucking Nations said end the war on drugs, but our government are psychopaths with a gang of blue-clad thugs. There are gaps in our democracy because they think that we're all mugs. Why did this all start? And isn't it time to shatter, or just leave it as it is so the fat cats just get fatter? There are gaps in our democracy. It's as if we do not matter. The people in our government call us proletariat. They live in a different world to us and don't know where we're at. There are gaps in our democracy, and I think I smell a rat. The only way I've seen till now was to break their unfair laws, or keep it all in secrecy, hidden behind locked doors. There are gaps in our democracy. It's full of fucking flaws. But we've got ourselves a brief to take this all to court. But it costs a fucking fortune before the fight is fought. There are gaps in our democracy. I'll leave you with that thought. One love.